Malawa, permanent secretaries, senior government officials, and let me recognize members of the diplomatic corps who are here. Members of our Joint Operations Command for Matabele North Province, Chief Executive Officer for Alpha Media Holdings, Ms. Kenias Mafukidze, and other Chief Executive Officers to government entities and parastatals here present. But I wanted to say to Mr. Mafukidze, well done. You are now, you've grown big from 30, and I see this room is now full, close to 200. Well done. Independent power producers and financiers here present, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is both an honor and a privilege to officiate this 6th International Renewable Energy Conference and Expo on behalf of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. This important conference, held under the theme Sustainable Energy Investments for a Better Future, brings together policymakers, energy experts, academics, financiers, business leaders, and other key stakeholders. Together, we will explore opportunities for sustainable investment and solutions to the pressing challenges facing the global energy sector. Let me begin by extending my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests from across the Southern African Development Community region and distinguished visitors from around the world. Your presence underscores the significance of this event and reflects the spirit of collaboration we are working to foster. We are delighted to welcome you to Zimbabwe and invite you to experience both the beauty of our country and the warmth of our hospitality. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, it is important to contextualize this event within the broader global energy landscape. The commitments made in the 24th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29, to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030 and double the rate of energy efficiency by 2030 are ambitious but necessary goals. Let me also acknowledge the resolutions passed during the last conference in 2024 here when you gathered here in the same conference room last year, and the attended achievements thereof, which have been, which I was briefed. We had 12 resolutions, and most of them you have achieved, or they are in greater and tangible progress. Only one or two are not yet achieved. But for what you have achieved so far, well done. I want to hasten here to say one area that resolutions was to deal with the storage capacity of the energy so produced. This is a critical area that we want to see the private sector, the financiers, and all stakeholders taking a keen interest. We cannot produce and then let go. We need to harness, and therefore the issue of storage of the power produced is critical. And I urge that this conference looks into that matter critically. Zimbabwe is fully committed to these targets which align with our national strategy of transitioning to sustainable energy systems. Critical sectors such as mining, agriculture, and manufacturing require constant electric energy supply for operational stability. Therefore, investing in renewable energy such as solar, wind, and hydropower will not only ensure a stable energy supply, but also foster economic productivity. Zimbabwe is already making significant strides towards these goals. The government has implemented key policy frameworks, such as the energy efficiency policy and renewable energy policy, designed to promote a cleaner and more resilient energy sector. We are looking to address challenges related to cost competitiveness, policy uncertainty, and infrastructure development, which are critical to achieving a just and equitable energy transition. As a region, Southern Africa faces common energy challenges, but we also share an opportunity for collective action. By pooling resources and enhancing cross-border energy trading, we can enhance regional energy security, reduce costs, and leverage our collective strength. One example of such cooperation is the Southern Africa Power Pool, SAP, which facilitates electricity trading across member states. Furthermore, efforts are underway to interconnect the SAP and the East African Power Pool, creating new avenues for regional collaboration in energy supply and distribution. Ladies and gentlemen, in Zimbabwe, the national electricity access rate stands at 62%, with rural areas experiencing access levels as low as 20%. This disparity presents both a significant challenge and an opportunity for rapid improvement. The government has already embarked on several transformative renewable energy projects, including large-scale solar farms and wind energy initiatives. Our target is to achieve 2,100 megawatts of installed renewable energy capacity by 2030. This goal aligns with Sustainable Development Goal 7, which seeks to ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy. These efforts not only serve as a model for other nations in the region, but also position Zimbabwe as a regional leader in renewable energy development. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to know that we have now a policy in place for the rural development, industrialization and rural development. That we establish development of projects, the necessary infrastructure where the people are. But for that to happen, we need the greatest enabler, which is energy. This is an area where you can go and do your projects. And the government, as government, we will give you our full support. To support this transition, the government has introduced various incentives to attract private sector investment, including tax holidays and duty exemptions, as outlined in the National Renewable Energy Policy of 2019. We have also developed essential frameworks such as the Solar Integration Plan, the Network Master Plan, and the National Electrification Strategy to ensure the seamless integration of renewable energy into our national grid. In addition, these initiatives, I am proud to announce the launch of Zimbabwe's energy efficiency policy during this conference. This policy aims to optimize the use of existing energy resources, reduce wastes, and promote sustainable practices across the economy. Furthermore, private sector-driven projects such as captive power plants are already underway and are expected to significantly reduce load shedding in the near future, contributing to a more reliable energy supply for all Zimbabweans. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, looking ahead, the government of Zimbabwe is exploring a range of energy solutions to diversify our energy mix. This includes gas-to-power projects, particularly from the Mzalabani gas reserves, which will serve as a transitional energy source in our efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We are also investigating nuclear energy, particularly small modular reactors, as part of a balanced energy portfolio. Our commitment to capacity building for engineers, scientists, and practitioners will ensure we have technical expertise to support these emerging technologies. At the local level, we are promoting waste-to-energy projects, such as the Geopomona project in Harare, which seeks to address both climate change and urban sanitation challenges. We encourage other municipalities, both in Zimbabwe and the wider region, to adopt similar initiatives. Moreover, Zimbabwe holds the largest reserves of lithium in Africa and ranks 5th globally. We are prioritizing the value addition of energy transition minerals such as manganese, nickel, copper, cobalt, and lithium, which will drive the production of locally manufactured energy technologies. These efforts are critical to reducing energy costs and ensuring that we maximize the value of our natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, the country has registered significant investment in the production of coke, a product used as input in the local and export market in metallurgical processes such as steel plants. It is important to note that that production of coke produces an important byproduct known as coke over gas. However, as a country, we have not been efficient enough to tap into the full value chain of this process, as the coke over gas has been flared into the atmosphere, presenting negative environmental impacts. As government, we believe that our hanging fruits in addressing our challenges is for coke producers to strategically invest in the conversion of this waste gas as fuel for power generation, allow self-supply when excess can be supplied to the national grid. Furthermore, further opportunities exist in the application of the gas for boiler frame support in existing thermal power stations within the vicinity of the coke operations. We are very encouraged by companies such as Dilson Iron and Steel in Manise, who are constructing a water heat recovery co-generation 20 megawatts power plant. In the same vein, Wangen Zongjin Hell has licensed the has been licensed for a 240 megawatt Watts thermal power station to be fueled by coke over gas. We also appreciate the recently commissioned Palm River Meteorology Company in Badbridge, whose integrated systems and processes highlight the drive towards sustainable mining, greenhouse gas emissions, low waste production, and energy self-sufficiency through recycling of the resultant waste. Resultantly, other companies in this space are urged to follow suit and embrace the technology which will enhance the country's energy security and economic growth. Our independent power producers continue to play a critical role in expanding our national grid, currently contributing approximately 104 megawatts of electricity. As government, we remain committed to further facilitate the growth of independent power producers by creating a more enabling environment, increasing investor confidence, and accelerating the implementation of licensed projects. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we actively encourage the private sector, financial institutions, and international partners to invest in our energy sector. Through collaborations and innovation, we can unlock the financial capital needed to develop power plants and infrastructure that will benefit both the private sector and our communities. Zimbabwe is dedicated to removing barriers to doing business and fostering partnerships that will result in sustainable, clean, and affordable energy for all. This government that listens to its people and partners, we eagerly anticipate the solutions, ideas, and opportunities that will emerge from this conference. With these remarks, I declare the 6th edition of the International Renewable Energy Conference and Expo officially open. Tatenda Kwarumba Sialong.
Another round of applause for our expert owner.